We had the perfect 9 a.m. entry. The train ride from Paris was a breeze, and we were feeling pretty good about our Versailles game plan. But somehow, 45 minutes after we went in, we were standing in a chocolate shop realizing we'd missed about half of the actual building.
Yeah, it turns out if you just follow the crowd, you can get swept right through the Hall of Mirrors and deposited out the exit before you even know it happened. We're talking entire galleries of statues and history that we just skipped.
Yeah, would have been a shame.
So we had a choice. We could head for the train, or we could go back in for a do-over. And we decided to head back to the start, and I think it was one of the best decisions we made.
Definitely. Stick around, and we'll share everything you need to know, from how to get from Paris to Versailles by train, how our mistake ended up creating one of our favorite moments of the day, and we'll share the name of the bistro just a 5-minute walk from the palace, where we had one of the best meals of the entire trip.
But before we get to the do-over, let's talk about how we actually got there, because the morning started off really well. We bought our 9 a.m. tickets about a month ahead of time from the official website. On the morning of, we rode the metro to the Saint-Michel Notre Dame station to catch the RER C. We made it to the train around 7:45 a.m. and we pulled into the Château Rive Gauche station in Versailles about 8:20. I don't know. It was an easy 10 or 15 minute walk from the station to the palace, and even though we arrived 30 minutes prior to our slot, the line had already formed, and it was pretty big. But don't let that scare you, because the line moves really fast. We were through security and standing in the courtyard in just a few minutes.
Yeah, it really surprised me how many people were there for that first slot, but once they opened the doors, we were rolling.
Yeah, by 8:30, the 9:30 line already had quite a queue in it.
Yeah. Walking through the courtyard behind those massive golden gates, it's like another world. The scale of everything is just incredible. We started in the Royal Chapel, which is an absolutely breathtaking, and then moved into the state apartments. The detail in the ceilings alone is enough to keep you looking up the entire time.
Yeah, but that's the thing about Versailles. It's so beautiful that you can sort of get lost in it and stop paying attention to where the hallways are actually leading you. And before we knew it, we weren't looking at art. We were just part of this human tidal force moving through the Hall of Mirrors.
Yeah. It was at that point we probably should have paid more attention to the map, but we kind of just got caught up in the flow, and before we knew it, we were at the end. And there's not really any going back. You could try, but the closest comparison I can make is that it would be like walking the wrong way through an IKEA.
Yeah, you're not forced out of the palace. No. You're still in the courtyard, but you can't go backwards. Everything is one way.
Yeah.
So at the end, we went through this chocolate shop.
Yes.
And
amazing.
Yeah, they were absolutely wonderful. And we're standing in the courtyard with our chocolates, and we're just wait, what just happened? We can't be done. And so we pulled out the map and we saw that we had missed big chunks of the North Wing. We'd missed the Crusades Room, the Empire Room, and the Congress Chamber.
Yeah.
So we just kind of looked and said, well, we're still in the courtyard. Mm-hmm. And we just went back to the North Wing and started over again.
Yeah. While thousands of people were packed shoulder to shoulder in the Hall of Mirrors, we stepped into the Crusade Room, and the silence was almost shocking.
Yeah, it was just us.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that figuratively. Literally, for 15 minutes, we didn't see another person. It felt like we had gone somewhere we weren't supposed to be. Mm-hmm. It was quiet and lovely, and it's what you want Versailles to be. It felt to me like people were so focused on the greatest hits that they did the same thing we did. They just kind of missed the rest of the palace. And by going against the grain the second time through, we found the version of Versailles we were actually looking for. Without the crowd, we were able to slow down and really look at the art. And I even found a statue that still bothers me to this day. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
I don't know. I'll put it up on screen. How do you not notice it's crooked? There's probably a good reason for it. And if you know what it is, please let me know in the comments, because it's killing me.
By the time we finally walked out of those golden gates, we were pretty tired. Our feet were sore and we were peopled out. So we decided to give Google Maps a try and see if they could find somewhere for lunch.
Yeah, just about 5 minutes away from the palace, we found this kind of charming little bistro called, I'm going to butcher it, Le Salle Gauze de Versailles. We're going to put the name on the screen, but it's exactly what we needed. No crowds, no gold leaf, just a quiet table and an absolutely incredible meal.
In addition to them being delicious, they were beautiful. Like, the presentation was gorgeous.
Yeah, I think it was probably one of the best things we ate the entire trip. It was like the perfect way just to sit down and kind of talk about Versailles and what we had just done. And the rest of our day was looking pretty fun. I think we just needed that moment.
Yeah.
So if you're in the Versailles area and you want somewhere really kind of like understated but amazing to eat at, you need to give this place a try. So the ride back to Paris on the RER takes about 35 minutes. We got to spend some time just scrolling through our photos and relaxing. But it just kind of helped us remember that like the best parts of our trips sometimes aren't the things that we have planned out perfectly. They're the things that we run into when we kind of make a mistake. And we've done a few of those. We'll link one up here. I mean, Versailles is this grand and beautiful place, but it's even better when you kind of find a way to make it your own and come away with a story that you love. Have you ever had a wrong turn on a trip that actually turned into one of your favorite memories? Or maybe you have a travel tip for Versailles that we missed? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed coming along with us on this journey, we'd love it if you hit that subscribe or like button. We're all about sharing our adventures and our mistakes. So thanks for being part of our community, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.